Yes, this is good stuff. So just to start us off, welcome to the Happy Healers Brigade. I'm really, really excited to be joined by Dee DiFatta. I
Yep.
don't know quite sure if I say it all right. Who is also, we were just discussing on, how our messages are so similar and how our paths are so similar, really. So here we are in the middle of our lives, living with a condition called multiple sclerosis, and are determined to work out what this is giving us,
Hmm.
really, and really taking the essence out of, okay, we've got this thing, it feels horrible, it's super challenges, it's stopping me doing the things that I want to do, which really pisses me off. So what is it really giving me?
Yeah.
And that's probably the best question we could ask. Ask the universe or God, really, because and that's your surrendering piece, isn't it, Dee? When you talk,
Oh, yes.
you talk a lot about this process of sort of letting go, letting God, don't you?
Yeah. And it's not easy because we've never been taught how to let go and surrender.
Mm,
That was actually considered giving up way back when, and it's two completely different things.
mm,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
but it's yeah, it's not giving up, but it's letting go. It's almost the I've heard before the analogy of a sinking ship, and
Yeah.
everyone's hanging on to the side of the sinking ship. But when you
Mm,
let go, you'll just float to the surface, and
Yeah.
the ship doesn't, that vessel is gone.
Yeah.
And that's what we're
mm,
doing. And people talk about having little shifts in consciousness and that type of thing, where you just, oh, that note, that time when you eventually let go
Yeah.
and you just raise it. Oh,
mm.
that's how easy it's meant to
Yeah.
be. And I was hanging on to that boat and it was getting
Yeah.
so heavy and I was doing all my might to pull it up and my body was saying no. And yeah, so I
Yeah.
hope that's a great
Yeah.
analogy of um, just, yeah, how challenging it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, and a lot of people are in the fight mode. "I'm an MS warrior, I'm gonna fight this." I'm like, "Oh my god, that
Mm,
is so heavy."
yeah. And
That is so heavy. I surrendered fighting it. I'm like, "I'm done, I'm not fighting this battle anymore because it's an uphill battle and it's painful. It's
mm,
defeating and depleting." And I finally got to the point where I'm like, "You know what? I need to lean in and learn from this. Like, what am I being
yes.
taught? What am I meant to learn?" So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking exactly the same questions, Dee,
Mhm.
and slight. I am, well, it is frustrating that either I haven't obviously I haven't quite learned the lesson yet. There's something more. There's something a little bit deeper to go down. There's something else, isn't there? And every
Mm.
time, and Carol, bless her, is just experiencing almost like one knockback after another, aren't you, Carol? With regarding to
yeah.
symptoms and new ones coming in.
Everything. Another one. No.
She's got a lot of stuff going on. So she shows up here with a beautiful smile on her face and yeah, with hope in her heart. So it's just, so it has, we were just saying before you came on, that piece of, right,
Mhm.
okay, I'm here, I'm
Mm,
experiencing this,
Yeah.
I'm going through it. What is it that, what is it? Show me, tell me, I'm ready to learn. And it's
mm.
good. Yeah, exactly. So
Yes.
hello to everyone who's joining us. We're just in conversation. Oh, hi there, Martin. How you doing? Good to see you again. Harriet, hello. Who else we got? Kaz, Deborah, thank you. All great to sort of see you or not see you. I know some people said they've got stuff going on in the background, so don't want to put their cameras on, and that's absolutely fine. So this is a join in as much as you like. So the format of the session, it's just gone 1:30 now, is I'll do a brief 5-10 minute sort of breath work where we can just connect in, because it is Wednesday, it's the middle of the week. I don't know about you, but it feels like yeah, these I'm fitting so much into these days these days that it's like it's, yeah, life is good, life is fun, it's abundant, full of joyful stuff. And the only thing really that's stopping me fully enjoying it is this little niggling belief that's saying you're not quite far enough as you could be.
Ooh.
You're you're not doing as well as well, you're not really making any money yet, are you? You're not really doing this yet. You maybe recognize this voice, and that is, and if you took that voice away and just literally focused on what is going well in my life, there is, what do we focus on when people say how's it going, especially if they ask you something as directly as how's business going? I've got to tell them the truth. I'm not making any money. So it's like, well, don't focus on the money then. Focus on what, and actually Carol said it beautifully, because when I asked her at the beginning, if she was to describe me to somebody who didn't know me, what would she say? And I was trying to elicit from her what I did as a job, like what people could buy from me. And what Carol said was like, oh, I'd say that you're encouraging, you're an uplifter, and on all of these beautiful things. I was like, so I'm focusing on the wrong thing, aren't I? Do you know what I mean? It's like, focus on what you do well, Gina, uplift and encourage, give hope and do all that. And and our business going, well, it's going great. Because hey, we've got this is the biggest room we've filled since the first one, where I had lots of I don't know, lots of local supporters, if you like, my friends that came along. So this is nice that actually these type of conversations and just having this space in the middle of the week or the middle of the fortnight just to take a breath. So I'll stop talking now and actually take a breath. Sorry. So if you'd like to join me, what I'm going to do is just pin my video. So in the recording is, you don't worry about being seen, but feel free to leave your camera on or off. It's completely up to you. And we'll just do now however long, between 5 and 10 minutes of just stopping and allowing all those sound vibrations just to settle as you gently bring your awareness to your breath. Really notice the stillness as you just pause. In the stillness, you can actually feel the air touching your fingertips. You can feel little sensations, maybe at different parts of your body, little tingles and itches, and just notice, is there any things that are causing pain? Are there any things that are causing pleasure? Quite often, the pain outweighs the pleasure, or the pain shouts louder than the pleasure. So all we can focus on is the pain. Yet if we're able to find and notice more of the pleasures and focus on them, the pain will automatically have less space. So by just pausing with the intention of allowing the air around you to settle, without any noise, without any movement, almost without any breath. You notice your breath naturally slowing right down. And in the silence, your body gets to know that it's safe. That it's safe to be heard. That it will be listened to. Just breathe. is safe, will be listened to. And just allow your body to speak to you. I invite you to gently bring your awareness back to your breath. And notice how it's connecting to your heart. Bring your awareness fully to your heart as you set an intention for this time we're spending together. Your intention for what you would like to get out of this session. If miracles could happen and you experience something in this session, what would be the best case scenario for you? So I just invite you to have a little think about, if I could wave my magic fingers and give you whatever you want, what would that be? That one thing that I can magic away from you, that I can dissolve in your life. Caveat is it has to be within your demeanor. You can't want somebody else to be well or want somebody else to do something. It has to be your sphere. Would it be healing from something? Would it be getting the job of your life? What would be the one thing that you would like solving in your life right now? And set that as your intention. And I encourage you to write it down. If you want to put it in the chat, that would be lovely. But if not, just write it down on a journal. I'll give you some minutes now. Sorry, it's a bit of a... Let's just take a breath first. Okay. And just thank your body for its wisdom. And yeah, grab yourself a pen. Sorry, I didn't tell you up front, but if you can, you can write it in the chat or on your notes or... Great, I've just read Harriet's thing, you're lurking. Absolutely, lurk away, Harriet, lurk away. So let's, so that's your intention. Has anyone got any intentions that they that they want to share? Or have you had enough time to write it down, or would you like some more time to write it down? Or shall I invite Dee into the room? Where's Dee? Oh, there's Dee. Okay, well, let's invite Dee into the room then. I'll pin you as well. How do I do that? Add pin. Oh, look at this. There we are, side by side. How clever am I? Well, Dee, thank you. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely lovely to see you as always. You really are just you're like a twin flame from across the, really across the globe. You think, I'm sure there are others of us, aren't there? But I think we're just it feels like we're so similar.
Yes.
Yeah, and such in the same place or a similar place in our journey as well. I think you might be maybe a few steps ahead, but it's not linear, is it?
No. Gosh, no.
So I think we've just experienced different, that's the thing, just experience different things. And I think we're both such seekers, aren't we?
Yes.
We want this to be the best experience of our lives. We do. We want to
Yeah.
look back at this and say, wow, thank
Yeah.
you for that, because
Yeah.
that was just incredible. And I don't know about you, but it is proving to be that.
I love that you led in with thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love that this whole session is about prayer, because when is the last time that, and I'm speaking to the whole group, when is the last time that we said thank you to God?
Yeah.
You know, when do we ever do that? We're like, oh, please make this disease go away. Oh, please make us feel better. Oh, please. Oh, please. But it's like, when do we ever say thank you for what we actually have?
Well, I know. Well, I did a whole, who was the lady that wrote The Secret? Rhonda Byrne. She also wrote, I can't remember what it was called, but it was a gratitude
Yes.
challenge. So she gets you doing something every day. And one of the things was saying, thank you, just even saying the words, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I did the whole, I was wild camping in Scotland last year, and I did the whole book. It sort of kept me sane when we were out, we were right out the comfort zone. It was raining and getting midge bites and in amongst this immensely beautiful, countryside. And so, yeah, that was a really beautiful thing to do. And that's really stayed ingrained in my, absolutely. There will be something to thank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are two opposite ends of the spectrum too. You can say thank you for what you do have, and don't ever be ashamed to say what the F, for what's going on. Because
I need some help down here.
Yeah. I mean, it was a point in my life where I was probably at the worst point in my entire life. I could barely walk, and I had not even entertained utilizing a walker yet to get around. And I was wall walking and I was tripping over myself. It was awful. And I didn't know what to do. I was so confused. Like, I didn't know where to begin. And people are like, just give up. I'm like, give up? That's not even in my vocabulary. What are you talking about?
What does even give up look like?
Oh my God,
if I'm not
no.
doing something, you're doing something, aren't you?
Yeah. So I walked by a friend's calendar one day, and she had this cat calendar, and the eyes were closed and it was laying on its back with its paws up in the air. And I'm like, oh, surrender. And I went back to my desk and I put my paws up in the air and I said, I surrender. I'm asking for your help.
Yeah.
Show me the way.
And that's all it's doing, isn't it? It's admitting
amazing.
I need help.
Yeah. But until you ask for it,
yeah,
the higher realm can't show up to help you. You need to ask for it.
Oh, that was really weird. When you said that, the lighting changed. It looked like the higher realm was behind you in a seated round. I was like, whoa.
That doesn't shock me.
Yep. Oh, that's incredible. So have you had experience with hearing the answers?
So I get my answers by journaling. What I normally do is the answers come out through my pen. I'll write, dear God, what is it that you want from me? Whether it's WTF or how do you wish that I serve? Like whatever, wherever I'm at in that moment.
Yeah.
And
how you ask the questions.
Yeah, it never fails as long as I let my pen keep going and I don't question it. Right. It comes out of me. And I go back and I read it and I go, whoa. It's crazy what comes out.
So do you journal every day then?
I try to journal every day. I don't journal every day. But yeah, most days I journal and it just, it gives me like chills when I read how he responded. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, no, I'm not supposed to do this. He's like, yes, you are. I'm like, no.
Oh, wow.
So it's my human self and my spiritual self.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to merge the two.
Yes. Well, that's it. That's full alignment, isn't it? And body, mind, and soul. And yeah, interesting. Because I journal as well, but I don't have quite that experience. But maybe I just haven't let myself, if I'm honest. And I'm very much of and I can see this in my journey as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur as well. Actually, yes, yeah, I'll do that. So I'll do meditation. I'm Kundalini yoga at the moment. I do journaling. I've done EFT, and I use all of them. I've got an altar there, and I do prayer, and I do chanting, and I've sort of tried a lot of stuff, and then I just sort of mix and match, because it's not my personality type, or I haven't found anything that I've been able to stick out long enough to go that into a deeper level of it. So I've got a nice smattering of tools, and maybe that's enough. But then
that's the beauty of what we do, Gina. You don't have to have one modality. You don't have to have one form that works best for you.
No,
Your
it's just having the different
experiences.
tools and knowing where to bring them in.
Yeah, your experiences and everything that you've learned along your journey, that's what people are seeking.
Yes.
So don't ever doubt yourself that you don't have enough. You have plenty.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, because that's what I was, everything that I listen to now really is, personal development, psychology of the mind, manifestation and vibration. Vibration comes into it all the time, and you can, the exercise I took you through there, you could almost feel that when you stop talking. And we don't have much time in silence. Sorry, we're down, do we? Because these days we're bombarded.
Yeah.
We're always got a screen on. If we haven't got a screen on, we've got earpods in, listening to this and listening to that. And even when that's not going on, you've got this constant noise, and that's stopping us from healing.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise out there, and that's what creates the chaos. And we feel like we're part of it, but yet we all have the power to choose to be the calm in the chaos.
Well, absolutely. And
You
now
choose.
it's getting even more and more. I mean, I'm pretty much in my bubble because I don't watch the news or anything, but you can't get, you can't hide yourself. It infiltrates in, doesn't it? The vibrations of fear coming in because of all the BS that they're putting out there. And focusing on one thing that may or may not have happened in one country, and all of a sudden the whole world's rioting. Really? Yeah, really.
But you know what? Sometimes things have to fall apart in order to fall into place.
Yeah, absolutely. And
and breakdowns inspire breakthroughs. So whenever I'm in the middle of like everything's falling apart and I'm in the middle of this huge breakdown, now I'm grateful for it because I'm like, yes, breakthrough is coming. Woohoo!
Yeah, so that's it. It's like you get a bit more, again, that's that. It's okay. This is just part of the process. It's a bit like, when you first get in the water, it's going to feel cold. But actually, once you've been in there a minute or two, it feels gorgeous, doesn't it? You've acclimatized. But the first step in it, especially when it's really cold, you're like, oh my God, oh my God. But the feeling you get after coming out of a cold swim is just phenomenal, because you've done something that was well out your comfort zone. But actually, you can reframe it as you're going into it. Instead of cold being a bad thing, embrace its pleasure, a bit like what I said in the in the visualization thing earlier, that actually if we start focusing on the pleasures, actually getting into cold water can feel like getting into a warm bath.
Exactly.
It's
It's definitely, and a lot of times as far as praying goes, how many times have you asked for something but you've never been quiet long enough to get the answer?
Well, yeah, that's it.
We're really good at that.
Yeah, or you're asking, the way you're asking the question doesn't elicit the correct answer. So I think there's even just ways of articulating what is your problem, and actually writing down what is the problem right now? What is it that's causing me to feel, and just writing it down. And often it is a thought, a bit like one I shared earlier on, that actually, it's never going to get there. Well, no, it's not. Well, you're still sitting there going, it's never going to get there. It's never going to get there. Little tig, little tig, little tig. Well, it's time for you to go. Never going to get there thought, because actually I'm getting there. So,
Well, it's funny how as humans, we don't even look back and acknowledge and appreciate how far we've come on this journey.
No.
We don't acknowledge and appreciate our achievements and accomplishments. We're just like, next, more.
Or we're not where we want to be. Therefore we've got to keep going. But also what I've been literally just started to practice following a client call I had at the weekend on Monday, actually, talking about the importance of rest. So today, this is the second day that and I had been doing it gently anyway, but I'd fallen out of the habit again, or got too busy for just lying down in the middle of the day, lying on my Shakti mat. If I can, if I can get I'm trying to aim for go towards two short lie downs as a bit of a break up in the day. But I don't know, at the moment it's more of a longer one. But oh my goodness, I lie down, and as soon as the quietness just sort of descends as you just allow, and then you really can connect into your body, because you can't or you can as you get more practice, but you've got to give yourself more of that time.
But allow is a really good word, because we don't normally allow ourselves to feel any kind of peace. We just power through.
And even one of my real challenges is feeling my emotions. So I've had a couple of people that sort of know about this stuff, and also I sort of, if I'm really honest, recognize in myself a bit of an anger inside of me. And I never would have described myself as an angry person. I don't think anyone spends any time with me would call me an angry person, because I don't, I don't flare up at things. I feel I'm quite reserved. But does that mean I don't get frustrated? And does that mean, sometimes I get pissed off? I just don't allow myself to fester in it any, and with the idea that actually everything's happening for us, even if it doesn't feel like it, then don't spend so much time. But I still think there is some hidden little anger things that are triggering something, and I'm not quite sure, because
we all have anger in us, but it's not in our conscious normally, it's in our subconscious. I mean, think of everything that you went through as a child. Even when your mom or dad told you no, that pissed you off.
Oh God,
but what
I
did you
remember
do?
being super angry. I ran
But you
upstairs,
didn't lash out. You sucked it down.
Well, I don't
So
know. I lashed out a bit. I remember slamming doors, but obviously I then sat there and festered, and nobody spoke to me about it. Nobody explains to you, does that it's actually it's okay to be angry. That's normal. Everyone's angry, because sometimes as a kid you just feel like you're going to explode, because it's like nobody gets you, basically. That's what it is.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, throughout our entire lifetime, nobody truly gets you, because you're unique. You're different than everybody else. You have to get you.
Well, that's it. And before you can then articulate to others what you need.
And in order for you to get you, you have to be willing to release whatever it is that's holding you back from being you. You have to be
and just unashamed
yourself, and be vulnerable, and be angry.
But then if things come up that you feel uncomfortable, like feelings of anger or hurt or anything like this, then it's just then having processes that you can use, rather than I've got this feeling and I don't want it, so I'll go and get drunk. I don't know, we've all got our little crutches that help us feel a bit better. We'll have a smoke, we'll binge watch Netflix, whatever it might be. And some might be good ways, and some might have slight detrimental ways, but they're ways and they work for us. And that's absolutely okay, because all we want to do is feel better.
Exactly.
But I think or certainly for me, as I'm embarking on this journey, it's like you're learning more and more that feeling better in the moment is not going to give you the longevity of feeling better. It's like the idea, I watched a really good little, I don't know who she was, but she was talking about self-care. You don't necessarily have to enjoy self-care, because when you think about some things, like what is it, it's a I don't think it's not about enjoying, because I was thinking about exercising, because it's like, if I had an option not to exercise, I'm lazy, I would not exercise, I don't get enough joy out of it to say yes. But I know that it's good for my body, and I know my body does feel better for it. It just doesn't necessarily, it's not when you're doing it is the problem. It's the thought of doing it. It's like, oh God, I'll have to get
Yep.
all wet. It's such an effort. And I don't know about you, Dee, because you talked about you know, your worst case. So I don't know how your walking is now, but mine's probably worse than yours was. So
I don't know. Mine's still off.
is it? So every time you move, then you've got to think carefully, haven't you, about where you actually go. Can you actually do it without falling over? You know, are you going to need any help? What sort of vehicle are you going to use? All of these things you've got to, and then it's like, can I actually be asked? You know, and sometimes, you know, before all of this, even going swimming, it still meant you have to, you know, get wet and get dressed, and so there's a bit of a faff to it for me. That sort of, you outweigh the, and then, you know, that's, you know, 2 hours out of my day. So what am I not doing for doing that? So there's a lot to consider into self-care, but then you do it and you feel good because your body's done that little bit more, and you've, you know, and I do it all with the mindset now of, you know, I'm spending more time visualizing my body getting better and being better and feeling better, and all the stuff that I'm learning about law of attraction, spirituality, and quantum physics is we can create our own reality.
Yeah, we can. And we can create our own healing.
Yeah,
you know, we doubt ourselves through everything. And I think that's why prayer is so important to me, because I'm like, please, dear God, show me that, you know, I'm your perfect child. I know I'm perfectly healed. I just can't see it yet, you know? Help me to have
that's
faith
the
and
learning,
trust.
actually navigating the navigating the visuals or the feelings. It's the vibrations. Just every decision, what feels better, what feels better, what feels better. And as you, the more you do it, and it's, for me, it's as well, it's been a journey of learning to trust myself. You know, it's I'd got out in such a habit, I think, and I don't even know where it started from, but allowing others to make big decisions in my life. And I think it started off actually when I was in my early 20s, when I first lived with my first boyfriend, when I lived with my first boyfriend. And that sort of curtailed my freedom. And it was, even though there was part of me that wanted the adventure of, you know, living with a fella, there was also part of me that didn't want that at all and wanted to go off and, you know, to spread my wings. And I was in a battle off, and I ended up staying with him after, because my mum actually talked me round and said, basically, you know, I said, that's it, I'm going. And he said, he phones my mum and said, come and pick her up. And she said, well, you know, you're going to work at relationships, look, they don't just, you know, magic. So I ended up staying with him. But it was, but what she failed to say was, but if it doesn't feel right for you, babe, then, you know, do what's in your heart. And if she said that part, then my choice would have been very different. But I felt like that was her advice. And I know my mum, you know, if I went against it, but it's just like, well, she knows better than me because she's my mum. And
and our parents are just like us. They're just trying to make their way through the world and do the best they can with the information that they have.
So there's no blame. It's just, okay, that's when I gave away my power. And after that, it becomes easy to go, oh, power's quite heavy. I better give it away to somebody else, or some strong man to make my decisions for me. So now I've had to get strong again to make my own decisions and to ride with them, and to know that, you know, how do we make decisions? And I don't know about anybody else that's on here, but sometimes decisions can feel heavy. And if you're, you know, if you're a single mum as well, you've got to big up your decision making even more, because then your decisions involve your kid as well. And then you've quite often got other people in your lives that it affects. So, and then you've got the whole societal stuff, most of which isn't even true. We don't even know what's true and what isn't true. Fundamentally, we've got to then learn that everything, all our network of support that we thought was around us, isn't. But actually, we've got something much stronger.
I feel that when I come from a place of love, love and understanding, and knowing that everybody has their own stuff that they're dealing with. I always come from love. And honestly, I associate God with love,
Mm.
love and light. And I'm like, please help me come from love in all of these situations, whether it's myself, whether it's my, daughter, whether it's my husband, whether it's whatever. Help me shine your love and light on the situation so that I can be the best I can be.
Yes, well,
And
a nice question to ask if you're feeling frustrated, maybe with somebody or you don't know what to do. It's like, what would love do?
yeah,
Yeah, what would
yeah.
love do? And something else I've been doing as well. I did a little. I was talking to a client the other day, and I created for her. We sort of went through what her challenges were and how to raise the vibration first thing in the morning when she sort of woke up and she had that moment of niceness, and then she
Mhm.
realized that her body wasn't where she wanted it to be and she was in pain and she was tremoring. So you get straight into fear, straight into,
Mm.
this stuff isn't working, I can't do this, I'm I don't know what the body thinks or what our subconscious thinks. Is it dying? Is it, well, we're certainly curtailed. Our freedoms are being taken away, or that's how it feels. And it's that perception of, okay, just because I can't walk anywhere. So what is this teaching? And you think of somebody like, oh God, so what's the guy at the motor neurons, the scientist guy in the wheelchair? What's his name?
Uh, who are you
Stephen
talking
Hawking.
I'm just talking
Stephen
about,
Hawking.
about? Okay.
oh,
Stephen
David Hawkins,
Hawking.
yeah, and how much,
Oh,
like, how
yes.
his freedoms got curtailed,
Yep.
how much, and did the fact that he didn't have to worry about going to the toilet and didn't have to worry about feeding himself and didn't have to worry about the normal stuff that we all takes up a big chunk of our time. He gets that all sorted for him, and he just can spend his time, thinking incredible, spending time zoning out or meditating. Who's got the worst life, so it's all perception, isn't it?
Yes,
All perception. And
definitely.
yeah, and
And, we grew up believing that everybody had to walk, and talk and all these things. And if anything happened, all of a sudden you were broken. It's like, you're not broken. You've always been whole. You're a perfect child of God. You are whole at your very core. You may see yourself as broken because things aren't working the way that they did before, but that
just a
doesn't mean you're
change.
broken.
Change isn't exactly. That's a really good way of thinking about it, definitely. Yeah, it's
A lot
been
of adjustments, a lot of modifying, a lot of like adapting to new situations. So I try to find the pleasure and the freedom in that now instead of the pain and the like discomfort. I'm like, ugh.
Well,
I
that's it,
used
and that's perception. That's what, going back from what we were
Yeah,
saying earlier as well. If you can find the pleasure in there somewhere,
yeah.
just stop enough, stressing about the pain to find the
Mhm.
pleasure, and then focus on that. And then actually, who knows? It might be quite different, because you think about, you the eroticism really of the pleasure and pain thing, because in the
Yeah.
bedroom it can, tilt very easily, can't it? When you're in the states of ecstasy, your pain threshold is very different from when you're just stressed from work.
Yeah.
Someone touches you, it's like, get off.
Yeah.
But in the throes of ecstasy, you're just like, yeah, you can go a lot deeper. So yeah, so if you can play with that idea and even get a little
Mm.
bit playful and sexy with, okay, it's a nice pleasure, all right, kinky one. Yeah. And yeah, by the way, if anybody wants to join in with a question or a comment, or just want to share something, just put your hand up and you can unmute and come and have a chat. If not, we'll just carry on chatting. But if anybody's got any questions or anybody that wants to comment, it'd be lovely to have your opinions on this as well, because I know
Most definitely.
yeah, Yinky, I know you're a lady of faith, and Carol, you are as well, aren't you? So yeah, what are your sort of takes? Oh yeah, Yinka, hiya.
Hi, hello everybody. I mean, this was such a useful session because I've been having quite a difficult couple of weeks because my son is at home on holiday and he's quite severely autistic. So I'm having to now manage his condition as well as mine. And I was getting overwhelmed, honestly. And it was so hard to actually see good. It was hard to actually feel the love of God. I was just beginning to really get overwhelmed. But when I saw your when you reminded me to register for this, I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. So it was just something like that's what I needed to take my mind
good.
off the issues going on, and I could just focus on just be grateful to God.
Yeah. And then looking for the things to be grateful for and really feeling them. Those simple little things when your son looks at you a certain way, or you have a bit of a giggle, you have that little connection, and for a moment it just feels all calm, and that little snapshot that you just want to, oh yeah, that's what we do it for.
And I always try to look beyond the outer limitations, the outer physical functioning.
Yeah, but that is so hard sometimes.
Oh, trust me, I get that. I do get that. But you know what? Everyone has God within them. It's that beautiful love and light, and just trying to look through the physical into that spiritual being is so precious.
Yeah.
I mean, you're incredible, Yinka, honestly. You're just again, you're like Carol, similar to Carol, really. It's just you just keep going, and it's and the fact that it's the fact that we're all here really having this conversation means that we are all ready. We are God, we're ready as a collective. We're ready to evolve, to see things in a different way, to if it's not painful, it's actually pleasurable. Where's the pleasure in this? How can I enjoy this moment in some way? How can I sit where in one of the questions I've started asking myself is in what many ways can I experience pleasure today? And just the way that I formulate the question, it's like in what many, which sounds a bit awkward, but it's just assuming that there are many. So now I just need to see what they are. And actually it's just such a beautiful question, because it just sort of it shifts you in a moment. Right, okay, well, I've got to look for them then. I haven't got time to look for the things that are crap. I've got to look for the things that give me pleasure.
Right.
And
well, even the obligations that we're responsible for, washing the dishes and doing the laundry, and even going to the bathroom, for crying out loud. Like when you go to the bathroom, it's like, woo, relief.
Well, if I get there without wetting myself, it is. But
oh my God, I'm telling you though,
well,
it's literally
the toilet. Tell you the toilet's only there. I stay here for so long, and then I'm like, oh, and once it gets going, and probably an overshare, sorry, but here we are. This is the healing group. We're all good.
Oh yeah. But honestly, I mean, you got to talk about this stuff because we don't go there that often.
Well, no, well, it's not very nice, is it? Yeah.
Well, you know what? It is what it is, though. I mean, be honest with yourself and be honest with others so that you guys can work through it together. That's what it's all about.
Definitely. That's the point. And just getting over, and actually, who really cares? No, nobody does.
Exactly.
I'm the only person that cares.
I mean, we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect and show up in such a manner that it's like, oh no, I've got it all together. I'm like, oh hell no. I am like, there are days I got nothing together.
Absolutely. It just feels sometimes it feels like exactly what we were saying earlier. Sometimes you feel like you're just beating yourself up for not being, I don't know, not having it all sorted, basically. Like we're ever going to get it all sorted. There'll be something else we'll need to sort. That's the point, isn't it? Otherwise we just get stagnant and we won't be going.
Oh my God, there's no reason to fight yourself on that. We weren't meant to have it together 24/7. And you know what? If your kids are in therapy down the line, God bless them. We should be in therapy too. Like everybody goes through something.
Oh my God. Well, actually,
it's okay.
And actually therapy or therapy type, type introspection is just teaches you more about yourself. And I think I think for me, the spiritual journey, that's what it is. It's learning what makes you tick. And
Yes.
what's going to light your fire, and what's going to
Yeah.
motivate you, and what's going to give you pleasure.
Yeah.
Because until you know what gives you pleasure, how can you look for it? And then once you
Exactly.
know, then and that's what it's all about. Because then the more we experience pleasure, our vibrations just are lighter and get into the pleasurable zone, and
Yeah.
we're just pain just doesn't exist in a
Yeah.
vibrational. It doesn't, does it, on a vibrational level? It'll only be pain on certain levels. So it is around raising your vibrations, which all the work, the group's called the Healing Vibrations Network for a reason, because it's all about raising your vibrations. And I just want to let you know what I'm doing in there as well at the moment, because I'm off on a camping trip on Friday now, so I haven't got very long. So I'm just gonna let it go with all the stuff. But what I have been doing in the group is I've set myself a little challenge called the Celebration Challenge. And I am going to see how many days I can post consistently celebrating 1, 2, 3, however many things that I want to, but celebrating something.
Nice.
And I am on my problem is trying to remember what day I'm on. I think I'm on day 5. I'll have to check it. I'll have to check in the group. So yes, so did I go on yesterday? Yes, I think I did. So I think I'm remembering to go on last thing at night, but I'm going camping, so I might not then. But my aim is to actually get people thinking about celebrations, because of course when you're celebrating, you're in that gratitude place. When you're in gratitude place, you're vibrating higher. So again, it's just getting your focus on the things that are worth celebrating, because when the celebrations are going on, you haven't got time for the cry one in the corner, have you? They just have to cry himself to, you just be quiet out there. It's fine, go to bed, it's all right, your time here.
Yeah. No, there's so much that this world has to offer us, even if we are struggling with, our physical or mental limitations. It's like, you know what? No, I try desperately to look beyond that and pray to God to show me how I'm infinite. Show me all the infinite ways that I am perfect, just the way I am. Show me how to accept myself in this moment so I'm not beating myself up for not being where I want to be. So
Oh God, they're amazing questions. Yeah. So I'll definitely get the everything that's come out of here. We'll have the transcripts and whatnot, so we can get some of the questions. We probably can collect the questions ourselves, but actually just some killer questions that I don't think killer's maybe the right word, but some expansive questions.
Yes.
To really be asking the right questions to
Right.
get the answers that are really going to raise your vibration into such a place. There is no illness. We're just going to raise our vibration to a place of complete calm, and then every time there's a slight little ripple, we'll notice it and soothe it out, and life becomes just easier and easier and more joyful and more fun, because according to what I've been learning about, that's how it's meant to be. We're just vibrating at the wrong wrong level to be able to experience it to that level. So we want to
And
raise
it's funny
ourselves up.
too, because so many people focus on they're either ill or they're well, and there's no in between, or it's positive or it's negative, but there's nothing in between. I'm like, no, we're trying to bring them closer together and find contentment and satisfaction with what is. Because when you're on that level playing field of contentment and satisfaction, that's when you raise your vibration so that you can bring in all that other goodness. It's like, yes.
Well, that's when you get the inspiration, because I find by lying down, I just lay down for 40. I set a timer for 40 minutes, and by probably about 20, I'd settled down enough to was just getting those ideas. I've literally came off the back of it and written my business plan that has been going round and round in my head for months, honestly. And now it's just like, okay, now it makes sense to me. And
Good.
now it's like, yes. And then I come on here, and this is the best group we've had, like I said, the fullest group. So thanks guys for being here. It just feels, actually, I feel like I'm on the right track now. I think I'm getting this. And actually, where we are on our healing journey, this is just stepping up our beliefs to match
Yes.
our vibrational level
Yeah.
to such a point. And I find the more I talk about it, and the more I coach on it, and the more I just share and bring people together having these simple conversations, the more I believe it and know it's true.
Yes.
So
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? And I'm so proud of you for completing your business plan. I know for a long time I was lost in my own head. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? And a lot of times you become attached to your identity, the identity of who you used to be. Okay. And even
yeah,
after being diagnosed with MS, you cling to what was before and you're like, I want to be that person again. But we grow and learn and change and evolve every single day. And I'm not the person I was 30 years ago, let alone the person I was yesterday. And honestly, my business has changed too. I'm not just a
well, I
dose
know
of positivity anymore.
I saw you rebranded. Yes, I know
Yeah.
that's it. So
I'm
yeah,
just
tell
known
us
as Dee
about that.
DiFatta. And everything is under that umbrella. And it's beautiful. And I haven't put it out to the entire world yet. And I'm okay with that.
Cool.
It's like,
So how has it changed then, other than the name, or is it just a name?
so the name was a dose of positivity. And honestly, I became attached to that identity. I became attached to the positivity part. And there were so many other parts and pieces to me.
Yeah, I
We
thought
talk
that.
about surrender and forgiveness and acceptance and love and, all of this. And I'm like, well, how does that fit under a dose of positivity? It's like, well, it doesn't really. Like,
It
you were
makes
meant
it a
to.
little bit, yeah. The dose of possibility. Is that right?
Positivity.
I can't say the word. Yeah,
Yeah.
positivity. Is almost like a stepping stone to what's
Yeah,
really going on. It's not, or
exactly.
just part of it. It's just part of the
Right.
puzzle, really.
Yeah, but it took a while to even, release
Well,
that and be like, oh my God, what am I doing?
yeah. So I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at all the different things that I've played at over the
Mhm.
last few years, and just sort of
Yeah,
bringing them all together now. Well, which ones did I
exactly.
enjoy doing most?
Right.
Which ones do I don't want to be working my socks off, and I want to get it all into a thing where all I've got to do is show up and coach and do
Yeah,
stuff like this. And
right.
then everything else is sorted because we've got processes for it, and I've
Mhm.
outsourced it. So that's the aim. But yeah, obviously that takes a bit of work getting there, doesn't it? As you just
It
sort of,
does. It does.
as you morph your what you want to offer and what you can
Yeah,
offer, and what it is that my work can really give to people, and
yeah.
what
Well, the
transformation
beautiful
can go.
part the part that I've recognized about myself and about others is that it's not about being perfect. It's not about having all your shit together or figuring stuff out. It's about being present. Your
Yeah,
presence is your gift. Your
yeah.
presence is
Uh,
your unique talent. That's it.
yes. Thanks for bringing that up, because
Yeah,
absolutely we can all give that. But it does take practice.
it
Be
does.
fully present in every
Yeah.
moment, and I'm much better than I used to be.
Mhm.
And I think that's why coaching is so powerful, because in that
Yes.
hour or half an hour session that you've got with that person,
Mhm.
it is all, your focus is on you.
Yeah.
This is an introspective, this is shining, you're holding a mirror up, this is wrapping you in a blanket, this is
Yeah.
nurturing you, this is loving you, this is expanding you, this is for you. And that's magical. When
Yes.
else do you get full on focused attention by anybody? If anybody ever gets that with their partner or lover, more than a few seconds here and there, then they are very, very lucky. Because in this world where we're so distracted and we've got so many screens, and what we said earlier, there's so much noise going
Mhm.
on, that actually, to have a space, we create a little bubble that
Yeah.
allows you to just get calm and be in your body, and you'll be able to suss out the next steps. And if you're
Yeah.
not able to do that yourself, and you will be able to, then it's not
Mhm.
saying you can't. The more you practice this stuff, the more you can. But I
Yeah.
don't know about you, Dee, but I will work with coaches as well.
Oh,
because
yes.
because there's because for me, it just, if I pay somebody to spend time with me,
Mhm.
I will spend time with them. Whereas when I do it myself, it's like the practices get squished on the corner. Some days I'm better than others, and I'll do it, but other days it's like, oh no, I'm too tired, I can't be bothered, or I'm going to do this instead. So it's by spending money, because where your money goes, money is an energy, and you're spending your money on something, and whatever you're spending it in, it's not a judgment, but it's for you to know what are you spending your money on, so you can see actually what you value in your life.
And
Definitely. I look at what I spend my money on, and most of it's personal development stuff, and and stuff to build my business, and that's and the secondary things are adventures with my family. But it's and spiritual development, because that will take time. Self-care, personal, so it's this inner journey they talk about, but it does take time, and
it does. There's no quick fix, there's no magic pill, there's no magical genie or fairy or any of that.
No, I mean, I don't watch TV anymore, I don't watch the news anymore. I don't go out. I used to be in my 20s, I was a right, party goer, and always out every weekend getting drunk and all the rest of it. Well, I don't drink anymore, so I don't party anymore, not like that. I might go out now and again, but now I want decent conversations and easy accessibility to a toilet. And a bit of fun and adventure, something worth putting yourself out for, basically. This is going to be worth my time, energy, and money. And if it's quite often it's a yes if it's a bit of an adventure. And do you fancy going wild swimming? Yeah, all right then. That's an easy yes. That's an easy yes for me. I'll work out the house later. But some things you're like, yeah, do I really want to go to the pub on a quiz night? No, not really. I prefer to stay in and listen to my meditations, or have an early night, or absolutely. So it's you just learn, don't you?
Yeah, you learn what brings you pleasure, and you create more of that in your life.
Yeah, definitely. So before I go, I was going to make an offer, but because I'm off on holiday on Friday, because I would have invited you into a call just to see if just to give you that bubble that we were talking about before, where you can get really, really clear on what your number one problem is. But like when we bring yourself first into that first intention, what is that number one problem? And if you want some help, just helping you unpick that question and shining a light into showing you blind spots maybe, and just giving you the space to think about and to just explore everything that's you're too busy to explore in normal life. So this will give you a space to be able to do that. And I'm sure that Dee would offer up I don't know, I'm talking for you, but I don't know if you would, but if somebody wanted to. So basically I was going to say that if you want to come and have a call with me, it's totally free of charge, just to see actually if if working with me going forward is something that would be helpful to you. And if it's not, that's absolutely okay, because it's cool. You can come up to these things. We'll be doing these things twice a month. I mean, this works really well, Dee. I don't know if you want to make this more of a regular thing, because I think we've had some real gems come out of tonight, out of our discussion. And thanks, Yinka, for telling us about your experience. And if anybody else wants to do that, feel free to say. But yes, but I won't have any time until week commencing the 19th. So I'll put my calendar link in if anybody wants to book a call, or just DM me. But I mean, Dee, if I don't know if you want to offer something similar, or if somebody needs to talk, before I'm sort of disappointed.
I am always available for a conversation, at least to help you identify what it is that's holding you back. Once you identify it, it makes it so much easier to go in and be like, okay, well, now let's play with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And honestly, you know, Dee DiFatta, look me up on, you know, Google. I am everywhere. I am on LinkedIn.
Yeah, well,
I am on Facebook.
I'll share. Yeah, we're tagged
Yeah.
on Facebook. You should be
Yeah.
able to find you, no problem at all. And I don't know about you, because I always think sometimes like people don't want to work with coaches because they think they can't afford them. And we talked a little bit about, you know, where your money goes, but it's
Right.
but also to recognize. Personally, I'm at the start of this journey. I've said I've only just created this business plan. You know, my stuff's going to be cheap as chips basically to start with, as I build my reputation and just, you know, and build build a, you know, transforming community, a healing community, because that's what it's all about. And if we can support and help each other, and what Dee and I are doing are just sharing stuff that's worked for us, and especially with regard into your mindset and your you know, how you talk to yourself and your emotional, you know, because emotions we talked about again, you know, anger getting stuck, and, you know, your emotional stuff and psychological stuff. It's yeah, we're here to help. That's definitely what it's all about. And yeah, don't worry about money, because I'll basically create something to fit your budget.
Exactly.
That works for you. You know, I've got different options. I'm sure Dee has as well, and we could even look at doing something joint if that works. You know, it just really depends what people want and need.
Yep.
And,
we're
you
here
know,
to serve you.
yeah,
You know, and make it work for you.
definitely. And with regarding to the money, you know, we've all got money to spend, but this is about spending some on you.
Yes.
And actually, but you know, you need to decide what's important. Is this more important than a new haircut? Is this more important than a new pair of shoes? Or, you know, there's 2 coffees that you have down the coffee shop, and I'm not, you know, all of those make irrelevant and make you feel good. Carol, have you got something to say, my love? Let me just unmute you. You're not unmuting. Can you unmute?
Yeah, just then I don't have to text, so I just I gotta go now. So.
Oh, okay. All right, after all that. Well, thanks ever so much. All right, we've got a couple more. All right, yes. Yeah, we're running a bit over, sorry. Let's yes. Sorry, and I haven't looked at the messages. So we've got, yes, God is love. Yes, him. Yeah, David Hawkins, that was it, wasn't it? Or Stephen Hawkins. Next step. Oh, thank you. That's Chigo just saying, if you, I've got my calendar link there if anybody wants to book a call with me. And then Kaz is saying she's got to go now. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. So what do you what would be the easiest? Well, no, if you want to speak to Dee, just ping her a message is probably the easiest way, isn't it? She's, as you've seen, she's very lovely and very approachable. And the thing is, having a conversation with either of us, you'll there's nothing to lose, really. There really isn't. There's everything to gain, because you will feel better as a result. It's guaranteed. So whether you want to continue working with us or not working with us, it really doesn't matter. It's we're really here to serve, because it makes us feel better. It's the bottom line. That's certainly for me, it does. You know, it makes me feel like I've got a purpose, and I'm doing something worthwhile, and that makes me feel better. And then you don't worry about all the other little things, or not as much. And
the bottom line is we're all one. We're all here for each other.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, on that note, I'll close off. Thank you so much, Dee, for being here. It's been an amazing session. God, such
it was
great
wonderful. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. And I'll be in touch, ready for the next one. So it's the next one will be the it'll be the third Wednesday of August, which won't be perfect because it won't be next week because I'm not here. I've got all this already, shouldn't I? So it will be the 21st. So Wednesday the 21st will be our next one. I'm not quite sure what we'll talk about, but I might, we'll continue this conversation. I think it's much needed. Maybe we'll have a different focus or a different question to think about next time. So have a think if anything comes to you, Dee, when you're doing your journaling. Maybe what questions do we need to ask God to get the best discussions going? In fact,
yep, you got it.
Very good question. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here. It's been I've really enjoyed myself. So yeah, and we've raised some vibrations a little bit more into the world. So fabulous. I will share out the recordings and whatnot. So yeah. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gina.
Yes. Bye-bye.